Good evening, I'm Dania and this is KiniNews. The deaf e-hailing driver who had been assaulted along with Lawyers for Liberty and other NGOs handed over a memorandum to the Prime Minister's office today. Among others, they called for Anwar to set up a commission of inquiry into the case.
Lawyers for Liberty and 35 other NGOs have called on Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim to establish a commission of inquiry into the assault of a deaf e-hailing driver by a police officer. LFL Director Zaid Malek pointed out that although the investigation papers have been submitted to the Attorney General's chambers, no charges have been brought against the officer involved.
Pihak polis sendiri mengesahkan, satu, kertas siasatan telah diberikan 2 kali, 5 Jun pada awalnya dan kemudian sekali lagi pada 27 Julai 2024 kepada pihak pendakwa raya. Di mana kertas siasatan itu mestilah termasuk sekali video yang diberikan oleh Encik Ong Ing Keong ini. Tapi sehingga kini apa yang berlaku? Tidak ada apa-apa. Encik Ing Keong terpaksa datang ke hari ini kerana untuk mendapatkan keadilan dia perlu mendekati pihak-pihak berkuasa mencerahkan memorandum. Ini menunjukkan terdapat kegagalan sistem.
Earlier, 6 individuals, including Zaid and Ong, submitted a memorandum to the Prime Minister's office. On May 28, Ong was assaulted by a police officer escorting Johor Region Tengku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim. Inspector General of Police Razaruddin Hussain previously confirmed on June 5th that the investigation papers had been handed over to the AGC. However, no criminal charge has been brought against the police officer involved, despite clear video evidence of the attack upon Ong.
A man has claimed that he was attacked by a Pahang royalty. Here's more on the story.
A road construction worker has accused the Pahang royalty of being involved in an attack in which he was stabbed and shot at. Alias Awang, 44, told Malaysiakini the alleged incident occurred at a stable in Kuantan on June 6, and he lodged a police report on June 8. According to Alias, he went there after receiving a phone call from an individual who is believed to be linked to the royalty to meet him there. He claimed around 20 people, including the son of the Tengku, had attacked him. He also claimed that he was stabbed by one of the individuals with a knife in the right thigh, and the Tengku's son had shot at his leg but missed. Alias said he later learned that the attack was related to a plot of land in Rompin, where he was involved in the construction of a road. When contacted by Malaysiakini, Kuantan District Police Chief Wan Muhammad Zahari Wan Busu said that 3 men, including an individual believed to be the main suspect, were arrested and remanded for 7 days to facilitate investigations before being released on police bail. He said 2 others were also arrested, but released after their statements were recorded. However, Wan Zahari declined to comment when asked about the alleged involvement of a royalty in the incident. Malaysiakini has reached out to the Pahang Palace as well as the royalty implicated for comment.
Police have warned the public against recording TikTok videos at the Jalan Masjid India sinkhole area. The KL police chief stressed that they shouldn't endanger their safety.
The police have warned the public not to create content for social media at the site of the sinkhole in Jalan Masjid India. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Rusdi Muhammad Isa said he had ordered the Dangwangi Police Headquarters to station officers in the affected area so that the work of the relevant agencies there is not disturbed. He said they didn't want people to examine the area and make TikTok content. He added that the sinkhole is around 8 to 10 meters deep and reminded the public that the area is still being monitored. He stressed that they shouldn't endanger their safety. Meanwhile, Housing and Local Government Minister Ngal Korming said a recent sinkhole incident at Jalan Masjid India is an isolated occurrence and does not suggest that the country is unsafe. He said that building structures in the country are constructed to high safety standards and underground utility mapping is regularly conducted in phases according to the state's utility corridors. He said this when asked about the implementation of underground utility mapping following the sinkhole incident.
Anwar has dismissed rumours about the return of the GST. He said the government had never discussed the matter.
Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said the government has never discussed the return of the Goods and Services Tax as an alternative to subsidy cuts. At a press conference in Russia today, Anwar, who is also the finance minister, said discussions are focused on budget strategies and ways to increase the government's revenue, as it is determined to alleviate the issue of rising costs. He said nothing specific on GST has been discussed and stressed that a country cannot be governed based on rumors. Bloomberg had recently reported that Malaysia is weighing the return of a broad-based consumption tax. This is instead of implementing subsidy cuts for a commonly used gasoline as the government seeks to bolster its finances. Bloomberg had quoted people familiar with the matter as stating that the cabinet has been discussing the viability of bringing back the tax, but no decision has been reached given the political sensitivities. The sources were quoted as saying that there is an emerging view in the government that imposing GST may be politically easier than removing subsidies for the popular RON 95 petrol, since Malaysia is an oil producer and most Malaysians consider cheap petrol to be a necessity.
Before we move on, if you like access to news like this and more, consider supporting us and donate to Kinitv by scanning the QR code on the screen. An Umno leader has highlighted the difference with his party compared to others. He also praised the policies and projects under Najib when he was the Prime Minister.
Umno Supreme Council member Muhammad Puat Zarkashi said his party has a track record of producing outstanding leaders. He said this included Bosku, a term used for former Premier Najib Abdul Razak, who is serving a 6-year prison term and is facing multiple charges concerning the 1MDB scandal. Puat lauded the policies and projects during Najib's tenure, saying that only now did they know how good BRIM, GST, the Pan-Borneo Highway, the MRT, and HSR were. However, he claimed Najib was toppled through slander on 1MDB and was subjected to an unfair court process. Puat had said this in response to PKR lawmaker Hassan Abdul Karim, who had stated that if he had managed to convince Ismail Sabri Yaakob to join Parti Rakyat Malaysia, the latter would not have become the 9th Prime Minister. Puat agreed with this and said that if Hassan had remained in PRM and did not join PKR, he would still be craving to be an MP. He said this is because PRM is not good at evaluating leaders, and that is the difference with Umno. Puat added that Hassan has just realized how difficult it is to be the government. Yesterday, Hassan had praised Ismail Sabri as being the best Prime Minister. Among others, he said during Ismail Sabri's 15 months in office, allocations were given to the opposition without strings attached.
Netizens have criticised Pakatan National over their statement on the courtesy call with the New Zealand Prime Minister. This is what they said on the matter.
Pakatan National has been accused of a diplomatic faux pas over a courtesy call with New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon on Tuesday. This includes allegedly falsely portraying who visited who during the meet after opposition leader Hamzah Zainuddin said he received the courtesy call from Luxon. Social media users claimed that Hamzah had instead paid Luxon a visit. They highlighted a video in which the Kiwi Premier told the opposition leader, "Thanks for coming by today." Critics also highlighted how Luxon had said that Hamzah had brought some friends. They claimed this showed that the Prime Minister was not expecting the opposition leader to bring others along to the meeting. In response, Hamzah's private secretary, Ahmad Ikhwan Fadli, said the New Zealand High Commission had informed the opposition leader that Luxon had wanted to meet him. However, he said those who expected Luxon to visit Hamzah's office were idiots and that would be zero diplomacy and respect.
The government has not received any proposal from any party about amending the anti-hopping law. This is according to Azalina Othman Said.
The Prime Minister's department is still waiting for proposals from any quarter, including the Unity Government Secretariat, to amend and improve the anti-party hopping law. This is according to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Azalina Osman Said. According to Bernama, Azalina said she has yet to receive a proposal from any party to amend the law. She said many leaders admit there are loopholes in the law, and that is important, but in her personal view, there should be a recall bid if an MP who has been sworn in hops to another party. Azalina said, if a party wants to discipline the elected representative, there must be other ways such as calling voters to determine whether the member stays or goes. She added that all political parties must play a role in ensuring their candidate sticks to their respective party discipline. On July 15th, Azlina had said amendments to the anti-party hopping law require thorough bipartisan discussion and agreement.
That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Daniel. Thanks for watching.